Well, welcome to Ric Drasin Live. You like our new background? This is Venice Beach, where I grew up. It's changed over the years, but it still has its glory, and it has its caption to me, and I love it, and that's where I like to hang out. But I have a guest today, Selah Victor. She's an actress, writer, producer, singer, star of C'est La Vie. C'est La Vie, but I can't pronounce that word.
C'est La Vie,
well, it says C'est La Vie, or C'est La Vie here on emPOWERme.tv. So we both have our own shows.
Yeah.
And I've had her on Ric's Corner, and she has a lot to talk about nutrition. And I think today we're going to talk about diet time during the holidays, because this is a bad time of year for a lot of people. They eat a lot of junk, and they gain that 10, 15, 20 pounds, and then they say, January, what do I do to take it off? Well, quit eating in the holidays.
Right, but that is the way we grow our business, right? So
yeah, I mean, then you get a bunch of clients.
Then you get a bunch of clients. They last till June.
Well, I'm happy to have you here.
Thank you.
We've been friends for a while.
Yes.
We missed our sushi date dinner.
I know.
But we'll make up for it.
We'll redo it in the new year.
All right, so what do we eat during the holidays to stay on track?
You know, the holidays, it could be danger zone, like you said, for most people. There's a party every night. There's a dinner to go to. There's treats in the office all around you, family. You're getting plates of cookies every day.
Sure.
So, yeah, it's dangerous all the time. But it can also be an opportunity to sort of regroup and set a few boundaries and rules for yourself of things that you just won't do during the holidays. For example, you can limit yourself 2 drinks a week. That's an easy, simple rule, instead of every single night having a cocktail or something like that, where you can set new limits for yourself too. So it's a good opportunity to sort of do that.
Well, I have a question. This wasn't one of my questions, but this just inspired a question.
Oh, good.
You always have at parties like that, and you have all this food, and you're not eating it, as some people know here. And people other around you, your family and your friends, say, oh, just eat that. It's not going to hurt you. Eat this, and you have to make excuses that I don't want to eat that.
Yeah. One of the things that I kind of counsel my clients to do with that is you don't want to turn it into like a defensive thing or make them feel guilty.
Yeah.
But you can just be straightforward and honest. You know, that's something that I really can't do, but thank you so much for offering it to me. And just be really, you know, blunt and straightforward, but not defensive and why you know, or anything like that. I think if you're just honest and, you know, I really can't eat that, but thank you so much. And I'd love to enjoy this other thing. So you kind of turn it into a positive thing. And
well, I tell them I have a huge medical problem. If I eat it, I'll pass out and you're going to have to pick me up. So
there's that too.
Sugar just does this to me, and I can't just do that.
Right, yeah.
But they do get on the defensive because they're eating it and you're not, and you're in shape and they're not, and they make them feel like, well, you're just going to get fatter and I'm just going to stay leaner.
And people love to do that because it makes them feel better about the bad choices they're making. So don't let them do that to you, basically.
Some of the bad choices aren't that bad. I mean, there's things there. All right, say once in a while it's a holiday time. Okay, they're going to have some good foods or turkey and this and that, which I'll go to first because I want my protein in my body.
That's right.
That's most important.
And it helps you to stay satisfied, protein.
Exactly.
So you want to feel satisfied so that you're not just gorging on. The more carbs you're eating, the more you're going to want more sugar, carbs, all the bad stuff. So.
Sugar inspires sugar. Drink a Coke and see how much Coke you want to drink after that.
That's right, exactly.
So if there are assortments on the table, you can take a bite of something, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then you go, I think I'm okay for now.
Exactly. Yeah, but like you said, you want to fill your plate first with the good nutritious stuff, the veggies, the protein, and then you can have a bite of everything in moderation. You want to enjoy the holidays.
Yeah.
But,
well, years ago when I was living in Venice and training at the beach, and I dieted 6 days a week, and the 7th day was the junk day.
Yeah.
We really went all out.
Really?
I mean, spaghetti and meatballs and cheesecake and ice cream, all on a Sunday where you
so
literally crawl away from the table burping.
Oh, jeez. I wouldn't be able to sleep.
But the theory with this is, even on holidays, is that one day going through you is not going to make you fat.
That's right.
You just can't get fat in one day. You'll gain maybe 3 or 4 pounds of water weight, but by Tuesday it's gone.
Right. The problem is for most people in the holidays especially is that there's not just that one day. There's party after party, dinner. So then in the holidays it's like, well, I cheated this day, I guess I'll cheat again this day. And then it turns into 2 weeks of cheating, and then you really have a problem.
Right.
Because you're absolutely right. If there's 1, maybe even 2 celebration meals per week, if they're not all-out gorge fest, like how you described, you're not going to gain weight as long as every other meal you are on track. You can't cheat, you know.
All right, gaining weight and smoothing out are 2 different things.
Right.
As a bodybuilder, you want to stay hard and muscular and keep your abs in shape, and it's really, really hard to do that unless you're dieting every day of the week and this is your training for a show or this and that. And then you eat a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and you look in the mirror the next day and you've smoothed out a bit.
Yeah.
Well, some of that's water and some of it is fat because your body hasn't been eating these carbs like you normally do, and when you take them in, it sucks them up right away and wants to utilize them.
Exactly. The glycogen storage and everything in your fat cells just sort of stores. You're not using them like you were. And that exactly, I think that's a problem. But you also have to have a good mindset, like you said. Do I need to be in my fighting shape right now? Am I doing a competition? Am I doing a shoot or something like that? And if the answer is no, then maybe you can afford to splurge twice a week, you know, or
life is a competition.
Well, that's true.
You always got to be better than the next one.
That's true.
And at my age, I have something to prove because, as you know, on my other shows, I have a lot of followers in bodybuilding and pro wrestling who are 20 years old and say, oh, when I'm your age, I want to look like you. You know, and it's years and years of training and dieting and watching what you do.
Discipline.
And discipline. That's one of my things. How do you discipline, how do you discipline yourself to be good?
For me, I think for me, it's been a journey. Like every year, every day gets more and more disciplined. So I don't think it's overnight. I look back to stuff I did 2 years ago. I'm like, I would never do that now as far as, you know, cheating in a certain way or whatever. But so I do think discipline grows with time and it is a journey. But it really helps me to have a game plan. So I always joke about, I love trying new diets. I think it's fun. It's like a hobby almost. But it also helps me find new rules and new things to live by that I'm like, oh, I discover things that, oh, this does to my body a certain thing, and I won't do that anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like I definitely have learned over the years, sugar for me is a no. I just can't have it.
People don't realize it, but sugar can be a poison.
Yeah.
When my kids were little, we used to have a donut run on Saturday nights and watch a movie. So we go to the donut shop, come back with a big box of donuts. And I'd get 2 big apple fritters.
Oh, cool.
And apple fritters, like, we're the best. They're the best. Out there we have donut holes, which I may try one.
Oh, no. You have to wait for my healthy treats.
I know. So when I would eat these donuts, and I could feel myself watching the movie and just kind of just going back. The next day I woke up, my eyes were literally swollen from the sugar. There was so much sugar going through me that
okay, we have to talk about this because that's when I first discovered that I couldn't do. Every day I was waking up with really puffy eyes. I was baking around the holidays. This was last year actually. And I realized, you know, when you're baking, you're tasting a little here and there, and I kept waking up with that, and I finally realized.
Well, I thought it because I was crying so much in my sleep over the horror dreams I have.
Oh no! But then you realized it was the sugar, and you were
so
very
emotional,
relieved.
And my eyes are all puffy, and I got to go out today, and makeup's not going to cover it. It was the sugar.
It was the sugar. I know I didn't know either. It was trial and error. I was doing some research online, which, you know, sometimes is good, sometimes it's like, who knows what you're reading.
When you look up ailments online, you got everything.
I know. You can get, I have cancer, I have heart disease, whatever.
My hair fell out through something I ate. I don't know what it was.
Exactly. But you were right. It's the sugar.
And how do you turn down alcohol at a drink? Because people do offer you, hey, you're going to have a drink, you're going to have a drink, you're going to have a drink.
Yes.
No, I don't drink.
Yes. That I find is easier and easier because of, unfortunately, there's so many alcohol problems. So people respect it more, I feel like, when you say no. People seem to me to be fine with that. I personally don't drink very often, maybe once or twice a year.
I don't either.
Yeah. So for me, it's easy. I don't really need to. I'll just have a sparkling water or something fun. But for people that really love to have that drink, I always say, pick your poison. If you're going to have that drink, don't eat the bread. Don't have.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Trade off.
Have to, it's a trade-off.
I have the perfect excuse. I was born with 1 kidney.
Oh,
and not that it really matters, but I only have 1 kidney. And they say, oh, okay, I understand.
Yeah.
I don't really understand, but it's a good excuse.
It's a good excuse, but you can't anyway, right? Or no?
I can.
You can.
You know, I mean, Ina knows. We go out. I'll have a half a beer, and a half a beer, I'm like.
Right. It really gets to your
I'm ready to fall asleep. I'm just ready to fall asleep.
But that is a good excuse. Maybe I'll steal that one.
Yeah. I don't want to lose the other one, so I mean, I got the one.
And then you get all the sympathy too, so that's a good one.
All right. Now, when my mother was alive, she lived till 140. She would invite me over for dinner, and she'd say, okay, I made you something, but there's not a lot of sugar and not a lot of this, and just eat this and eat this. And I would tell her, Mom, you know me now like 39 years. And this was like 4 years ago. And so I don't eat like that. She said, but I made it for you. You know, you got to eat it once. Always trying to shove the stuff down. And family, when you get together with family, they're all a little overweight. They always want you to eat all this stuff. And you say, I just can't do it. Why? You don't have to diet all this. It's not even that. I just can't do it.
I just physically, it does not feel good when I eat it.
Right.
Well, I do think, you know, that is a very difficult situation, especially with family, because it's peer pressure. It's also traditions. There's a lot of ethnic traditions with certain familial groups. But So I think it's really difficult. And again, I think it helps to have that straightforward, honest conversation. Now, if you keep having to have it, you may have to have a serious heart-to-heart and just say, you know, you're actually hurting me when you are asking me to. I hate.
I did. I told her, you do this, I'll never come back again.
Right. I mean, it gets to a point where you've got to just. Or you could say. You could also do, I mean, I've done things where it's like in-laws or people that don't really know you. Yeah. I'll just take it and I'll eat around it. And then they don't ever.
When I was in grammar school, you used to eat in the cafeteria, and the teachers would walk up and down, make sure you're eating everything, or they wouldn't let you leave for class. So what I didn't like was spinach. I hated it. It was like chewing rubber.
And now you eat gallons of it, I'm sure.
Well, I'll eat it, but then I don't like the way they cooked it. They just boil it in water. And it was like eating an inner tube.
So gross.
So I would open my milk carton, I'd stuff all the foods I liked in the milk carton and close it up. They came, you ate everything. Yep, it's all gone.
It's all gone. Oh my!
Into the trash.
Well, and that's the thing. You can find ways creatively of getting around your plate, but people, the problem with that is they don't have discipline.
Well,
so
you don't.
It's on the plate. They're going to eat it. So that's why I always say, just have a heart-to-heart and say. You know,
you have to. Because a couple of times I came home with pockets full of pasta and mashed potatoes, and I stuffed it in there, and it was all wet and mushy, and I didn't eat it.
Oh no!
All right, we have to go to the tip of the week, and the tip of the week always changes because there's so many tips you can give somebody, and they've got to follow them. And for a tip of the week for the holidays, I'm going to share this with you because I want you to chime in on this.
Yeah.
I'd say, like you say, pick your poison. Go to your proteins and your veggies first when you eat somewhere. If you're going to have a little dessert, take a couple of bites, share it with your girlfriend or boyfriend. It's always better to share.
Yes.
Because if you put it in front of me alone, I will eat it all.
Absolutely. It's you're setting yourself up for failure, basically, if you don't set boundaries and set, you know, I'm just going to have one dessert or half of a dessert shared would be even better. Okay. But absolutely. And another thing is, along with that tip of the picking your poison, is bringing things to these dinners or parties. I always make my own desserts or healthy things to have an option. That way I don't feel deprived and punished, you know?
The worst thing is you bring a dish and no one eats it.
I know, but it's okay. As long as I eat it, I don't care.
And
you know
go home
I mean?
and that one's left. Why doesn't anybody eat that? It's too healthy.
Exactly, I know. My brothers have given me, you should hear them at the holidays. This tastes like garbage.
But it's
cardboard.
Healthy. All right, I want to thank you for being here,
Thank
number one.
Thank you for having me.
Where do we find you on the internet? And I know you have a show following this show, so let's talk about that real quick.
Yes, my show is called C'est La Vie with Selah V, and it's a workout show where I teach you how to make healthy recipes. I healthify your sinful recipes. And I also interview celebrities and fitness pros like Rick and hear what's going on in the workout world and what's new and hot and teach you new things. So
that's wonderful.
It's fun. And it's on emPOWERme.tv.
And you're on Facebook?
I am on Facebook, facebook.com/SelahVFitness.
And your
Twitter.
website?
SelahVFitness.com, which is spelled like my name, not like the French. So.
Okay, because it was French on the cue card.
No.
That's why I said I didn't understand what that meant. Well, you can catch me at RickDrasin.com.
Yay!
And RicksCorner.com, and I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm all over the internet. Just Google Rick Drasin, it comes up like, I think, 19,000 times.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm not as popular.
It's like I can't even find myself when I go on there. I don't know where I am. Beside myself, that's where I am. Well, okay, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank all you viewers for watching.
Thank you.
And we will be back. Actually, we have a show following called Tough and Tender about relationships and the holidays and how you deal with family and friends and getting together from different religions and different families. There are split families, and so stay tuned and watch that. And we'll see you next week at the same time on Rick Drasin Live. Thanks again for watching. Hi, I'm Rick Drasin. For tips on health and nutrition and fitness and bodybuilding and wrestling and all the stuff you want to know, subscribe to me on emPOWERme.tv. I'm on every Friday at 12:30 p.m. I'm looking forward to meeting you. And stay healthy.